Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to a bit of Fallout 3, where we are going to see if we can install this dish to the Washington Monument. Now, before I continue, I would first of all like to apologise. Why are you apologising, John? Well, sweetheart, I'm apologising because I had a copyright detection notice. Not a claim, nothing anything serious like that. Basically what it was is the people behind the song Let's Go Sunning, I think it was, decided that they were going to basically copyright notice the video. Now, no other artist had a problem with this. But it really was just this one. So, yeah. So that means that the video was blocked in certain areas, which means that yeah, you may have missed a part. So if you missed a part, basically we've gone to the a local radio station for Galaxy News Radio, whose music we can't play. It was there we had met Three Dog. Oh, not Three Dog. Oh, woo. As my partner might know him. Oh god, I really just did my wife's boyfriend there, didn't I? Sorry about that, gang. I don't really have much bullets of anything. That's just got a bouquet. Oh shit! Here's me thinking I was being really fucking clever. So we went to see Three Dog Owl, and he wanted a radio satellite in exchange for information on where our father James was. Fucking hell. I might have to drop some stuff off at our house. Fuck, I keep doing that, taking all shit. So now we've got to attach a radio dish there. We've recently gone to the Museum of Technology, which is around that way. Dealt with some super mutants, went underground. Now my darling dearest had asked me what I was looking for in particular when I was exploring ruins, and it's a good question because, you know, it's like there is not a whole lot to the wasteland, you know. Shit, here we go. And so So we have to go to the Museum of Technology. Oh, lucky shot as well, because that was the last of my... Yeah. So yeah, it's a good question as to what I'm actually looking for. So I'm usually looking for weapons. So weapons, ammunition, medical supplies, other things to keep me alive in the Wasteland. And the bullets for those guns as well. And we need those to get experience points to level up. And as we level up we get more powerful and we can survive the wastes a bit better. Hello! Dead Brotherhood of Steel Initiate. This is power armor. Very good stuff, but we can't use it because you actually have to be trained in power armor. That's one of the most consistent things about the series, is like, yeah, you wanna... You want to use this really cool stuff, you've got to be taught how to use it. And I can't carry all this grenade, it's done. Okay. Why am I carrying a Chinese pistol? Let's show it off anyway. That's what it looks like. Yeah, broom-handled Mauser. It's not a gun, it's a broom-handled Mauser. Sugar bombs. Do I have anything else that I can get? Let's irradiate ourselves. Eating food. I'm not going to let it go to waste. Dog meat. Dog. Okay, let's carry on through the trenches. If there's anything to carry on. Whiskey, dead mutant. Yeah. So I think it's about time I actually talked about the history of Fallout 3, because let's get more of these sandbags and try and find out where that shot came from. Okay, right. Take some jet. Let's kill this guy quickly. And I need to know what kind of... Oh, assault carbine. Nice. Throws out a lot of rounds very quickly. So yeah, so I've talked about the history of Fallout in great length in the Elder Scrolls for Oblivion in my A Bit Of series. Strangely enough, so Fallout 3, so Fallout 1 was made in was released in 1997 by Interplay, a big publisher and developer at the time. Hang on, you guys were here all this time and you haven't actually bothered to deal with the mutants. Good grief, you guys.
Good. Nothing to see here, outsider.
Nothing to see here, outsider.
I should walk in here.
Move along, outsider.
You don't ask my credentials, they just want me to walk in. Okay. So it was released in 1997 by Interplay, a big developer and publisher. And as soon as these guys said they wanted to make this game, that there says main outpost. No, sorry, mall outpost, my apologies. So, we've got an elevator. Very nice. That's a rarity in the wastes. I think it's, so yeah, it was developed by Interplay. And as soon as Interplay said they want to make a new game, they wanted to make an RPG, Tim Kaine, or Timothy Kaine is on YouTube, had basically said, "Oh, I want to run it in GURPS." So GURPS is the generic universal or role-playing system, a sort of tabletop equivalent of a game engine, and basically allows you to run sort of any kind of game with its with the systems that they have. So it's the same system, but you can use it for Cyberpunk, which Steve Jackson Games, the makers of GURPS, had actually had their headquarters raided because like the US government was like so concerned about the kind of stuff that was in their Apocalypse Gladiator armor. If we take that, what will that look like? Let's have a look. Yeah, no prizes for guessing what that's a reference to. And the helmet as well. So it is heavy armour. So it does encumber us quite considerably. So we would have to lose some gear if we were to use that. But it is very... it helps us sneak as well, that's good. So we would have to lose some stuff. Be willing to lose... I gotta lose £25. Okay, the assault rifle we can lose, fine. The assault rifle, carbine, 80 DPS, 89. The assault carbine I can lose as well. We'll use one of those later. Yeah, so like Steve Jackson actually had his office raided, but I think it was like the FBI because they were like, it was kind of like the story of like Die Hard, where like they were like, like this seems a lot like a real bank heist. Like, you actually, is this legit? This is just for a film? It's like, yeah. And like, yeah, so like you had like GURPS Cyberpunk, GURPS Cthulhu Punk, like Cthulhu Tech. You had I could really do with get rid of that. Wonder glue, let's get rid of that. Metal, get rid of that. Like modern car wars, you had GURPS Fantasy, GURPS Magic, GURPS Modern, all these kind of things. And so basically what the guys at Fallout wanted to do is they said, okay, we really want to make we want to make a Wasteland game. So they got in touch with with Steve Jackson of Steve Jackson Games Warehouse 13, and they wanted to make GURPS. It was going to be like called GURPS Fallout, or whatever it was they originally intended for it to be. However, Steve Jackson looked at the game and he thought, I don't want this level of violence. Like, he saw the gameplay and he was like, no, I don't want that. That sounds horrible. So he decided against it. I will link the articles surrounding the history of it. It's very fascinating. Yeah, it's fantastic seeing what was said at the time about the game's development. So there we are. Galaxy News Radio is live throughout the Wasteland. So yeah, so GURPS was out of the question, because like he looked at it and was like, Steve Jackson looked at it, I thought, no, I don't want my brand associated with this, like Jesus. You know? Oh my god. No. So in the end, Fallout had to be its own system. And Fallout would have been a much better game if it was in GURPS. You roll 3 6-sided dice, you add your modifiers. Hey ho! There's your math. Nice and simple, right? Wrong. Now we have what we have. For better and for worse. So that happened. Fallout was the name Fallout. No one could actually agree on like who chose the name, and it's one of those things where you think a lot of people want to take credit for it, and actually no one could actually correctly attribute it to anyone. So yeah, and it took a long time for the game to sort of get to where it is now. It's like this post-nuclear role-playing game. People weren't entirely sure as to what kind of theme they want to go for. That's Museum of History, which we will go to later. But for the time being, we don't really need to. This is Willow here. This is Willow, she's a ghoul, and in there is Underworld. And we will go to Underworld eventually, but not right now. Let's have a bit more of an explore of the wastes. Because the ghouls are mostly unbothered by the super mutants. But we are going to bother the super mutants because we want their stuff. I don't think we're going in that way. So, yeah, and bear in mind as well, like Fallout came out after Wasteland, I guess like the first ever post-nuclear role-playing game or post-apocalyptic role-playing game ever, at least video game, and yeah. And Interplay really wanted like the D&D license. That was where the money was. They wanted to make more games like the Ordinary Mutants. I can live with them. I need some really good weapons if I'm gonna. Hang on, I got the Silence 10mm. It's not great, but I'm gonna try. At least I got my sneak critical. Okay, it took him a while to see me. Oh, I could throw some grenades over there. He's behind that car. From here with this. It's over the assault rifle. And yeah, like listen to Tim Kane's like account of like the development, because like people were really enthused to play the game. Like, this was back when playtesting was like, it was something like you were honoured to do. Unfortunately, there is a lot of this problem in game dev now, where it's like a lot of like QA testers are taken for granted, and they are even disliked by the developers. Just want to quickly go over something here. So this is like my, so up here is my hit points. So that's my health. If that number reaches 0, I'm dead. However, these are my limbs. Okay, so all my limbs are taking different points of damage. I'm just like, really illustrating this for my darling dearest. So yeah, so this means I'm crippled, so that means like I might have that tinnitus sound, I can't see straight like here, a bit blurry. So I can heal the limb by clicking on it like that, but that uses one of my stim packs. I can use a doctor pack to heal all my limbs, but they're more expensive. I can heal my chest, I can use that as well. Have I got any other skill? that aren't from other things. No, doesn't look like it. Or is it in my general? Effects. No, sorry, I was just looking at something. No, it doesn't matter. Okay. So someone come around here. They had a melee weapon. Nice. So yeah, a lot of like game QA testers and such, I take for granted. You know, they don't like having their project criticised. You know, they've put all this work in, and like someone finds, you know, pokes holes in it. I can appreciate why. But yeah, this is back in the time like it was really good to like actually have a sneak peek at like someone's project. I suppose it still is, you know, like hey, like if you've got like a friend that like invites you over to test their game, it must be really neat. But sound like the Toxic Avenger. I've got enough bullets. Or do I? Alright, Jet and Psycho. Chinese assault rifle. Right, what did I take? Did I take some red approach meat? Yeah, I did. Evidently carrying a lot, so what have I picked? What else have I picked up? Have I picked up a weapon? I picked up a laser rifle. Got loads of motherfucker cells, so I'll... yep. Now I just dropped something else. Silenced to SMG. I don't really need a silenced SMG. It is good to have. It is using a kind of ammunition that I'm not really using often. Where is it? Oh, fuck it, let's get rid of it. Right. It's like my 10mm is just fine. So I could go further that way towards the Campbell building, but if I do, I'm just heading more into mutant territory, and I'm irradiated, so I better have some raid away. So the more radiation I get, the more effects I suffer. So let's drop it down a bit. Just gonna try and sneak around, just see if I can take that. We are at the National Archives. So yeah, yeah, well, I had a very interesting development, and then Fallout 2 came out 12 months later. They won another hit, so yeah. And the team really was enthusiastic to work on Fallout 2.
Gonna splatter! Your brains! Hurry up and die! I'm hungry! No! Away from there! No!
I just picked up a baseball bat. Do I actually have one as a melee weapon anyway? No. Right, let's get rid of that. Right. So yeah, but yeah, like the team was really enthused to work on Fallout 1 and 2, and like Tim Kaine actually had a few problem workers on the Fallout team, and like barring one, he didn't actually understand why, and they probably was just because like they were just really enjoyed. Like, they were just less enthused to work on those projects, but like in Fallout, he was a really good lead designer apparently, so, or like project lead as part of the project. So yeah, yeah. Like I do quote Tim Kaine a lot. I'm not trying to undermine the work of Brian Fargo and co. It's just that his accounts are the ones that I've read the most of. You can absolutely read the Fallout Bible by Chris Avallone. There's various volumes to the Fallout Bible. A lot of which, like, Chris Avallone has penned, because he's worked on a lot of Fallout stuff, and, well, he's been in gaming forever, really. So, yeah. Yeah. Always like involved in writing and things like that, so yeah. Oh, hang on, there's a dumpster here that I haven't checked out. Trash bin, my apologies. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to Megaton, I think, because I want to drop some gear off.
Huh? Sorry, not now.
I'll sell off that scrap metal. How am I doing for caps? Yeah, I'll sell it. I wouldn't ordinarily give it away, but Walter.
What do you need?
Nope, still shit at my impression.
Well, all right. Let me count out your cap.
So I've just lost £14, and I've got 140 bottle caps. Battle caps, bloody hell. Oh, tell me a trick.
Good morning, madam. What can I do for you? A neutron walks into a bar. How much for a drink here, anyway? To which the bartender responds, for you, no charge. You have yourself a fine day, madam.
And you. Let's put away some of our gear now. Have I got anything I can put in the fridge? In fact, yes, let's put away those sugar bombs, because I don't actually need those just yet. Don't need that much radio. Water. Stealth boy. I don't need that many stealth boys to sneak around with. I don't need that many. That actually, they don't weigh anything. Whiskey I don't need. I think we're all really good. Oh my, yeah, 20 blood packs I don't really need just yet. I'll put 17 away, just because I will need them later. But not just yet. We're not that part in the game. So, Let's head back to Three Dog. Hello! Spot the carnage. Yeah.
Hello again. Oh, go right on up. You were expected. Just stay out of our way and everything will be fine.
Onwards we go.
What else can I help you with? Suit yourself.
Shoot myself? So yeah, so Fallout, and then this game came out in 2008.
Power to the people, eh, kid?
So it was.
Hey, all right!
Good
The
long
hero
run.
of the Wasteland returns.
But yeah, this game was not as well received as people might originally. Like, it did review very well, but the Fallout fandom of old did not particularly like the idea of this going into first person from a CRPG or computer role-playing game, often confused as a classic role-playing game. No, computer. Although, certainly, all how do I put it? Like, all classic RPGs are computer RPGs, but not all computer RPGs are classic RPGs. There we go.
Hey, you're the one that deserves all the thanks. You struck a major blow against tyranny. Now, GNR can be heard clear across the capital wasteland again. That'll give Eden and those muties something to think about. But before I get back to my calling, I bet you want to hear about your dad.
No shit, spill it already, Three Dog. Please, I miss him so much. Well, yeah, where's my dad gone? I'll just go with 2. Oh, sorry. I forgot this isn't Boulder Gate. I have to actually choose it manually.
When your dad passed through here, he and I talked for a good long time. He's a real stand-up kind of guy. He mentioned some scientific mumbo-jumbo, which didn't make sense to me, and mentioned something called Project Purity. He also said something about going to visit a Dr. Lee in Rivet City. Then he left in a hurry. You've never heard of Rivet City? Wow. Just wow. Well, a whole bunch of people got together and turned a beached aircraft carrier into a town. Pretty cool, huh? Just follow the river south from here. There's no way you can miss it. I can't even tell you the love I'm getting from the Wasteland. Ever since GNR started singing again, the guys downstairs told me that more people than ever are tuning in. It's all I ever wanted. Anytime you need a place to crash, duck in here. Be glad to provide.
If you're looking for Three Dog, he's upstairs.
Sentinel Lyons calls the shots around here. If you need anything, she can probably help you.
Your praise! Found you! Arm hurt!
God. Someone. Thank you. Thank you so much. I thought I was dead for sure. Here, I managed to hide these supplies before they tied me up. You take them. It's the best I can do to thank you.
I'm a fucking idiot. I'm really sorry. My headphones were muted all that time. It wasn't you. My apologies.
You'd know best, wouldn't you? I have to go. Again, thank you.
So I'm gonna let this person get the supply. So what was I saying? So yeah, So I was talking about Rivet City. So Rivet City is that city over there. Believe it or not, that is actually a city. It used to be an old aircraft carrier. It is not the only base in the Wasteland that has had the sort of aquatic treatment, if it can even be called that. In Fallout 2, I won't spoil it. There was the Enclave had a base on an oil rig, and the only way you could get there was by Vertibird, which is like the sort of new helicopter of the not of the Wasteland, but like of the War, of the Great War in 2077. The context of the game is now in 2274, thereabouts. What does it say? No, 77 rather. So yeah. That's Rivet City there. So quite a defensible place. I wasn't saying anything else of importance, really. Oh, there we are. Pony Express box. So every major city has a Pony Express box. You can just deliver your goods to.
Please, God. So thirsty.
Yeah, so the Wasteland captives, we very nearly ended up killing them. So we didn't, thank God. And you can choose to take their supplies, like stim packs and things like that, or you can choose to give them to them for karma.
Oh, thank God. Someone new. I need water, please. Water. I mean, you don't want anything for it? I don't have any caps or anything. I can just have it for free? Really? Seriously? My God. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll never forget this.
Welcome to Rivet City. Please wait while the bridge extends.
And here we are. And it is a rather magnificent tub.
Hold it right there. State your business in Rivet City. Yeah? Let me guess. No, she's not expecting you. But it's really important, and you need to see her right away. Been a lot of that going around lately, and I've had just about enough of it. So you're going to have to do better than that. What? I don't know much about her work. You'll have to ask her about that, I guess. She's probably in the science lab. Just keep out of trouble on my boat. We're the safest, most secure city in the Wasteland. Nothing can get in here without our say-so. I suppose. The door on the left goes to the stairwell. From there, just keep heading west. I don't exactly have time to worry about the history around here, now do I? I've got to worry about what's happening on it now. Carry on, then.
Everything looks okay here. I'm on duty. Make it quick.
Makes it sound like he's got power armor on.
Oh, really? If someone took your stuff, go get it back. If they shoot at you, shoot back. Otherwise, I've got to see it for myself before I'm going to do anything. Whatever.
It's got the signs here for all the different places. The hotel, city clinic, Bridge Tower, the hotel, Capital Preservation Society, the Muddy Rudder, the Science Lab, the marketplace. So yeah, there's a lot to see on the ship, and we can have a nice explore. Now I say I won't spoil Fallout 2. Bit of a rant earlier that I was muted for. It's like, yeah, don't worry about, like, I'm not one of these people who's going to say, you know, oh, you've had, you know, nigh on 20 years to, or 30 years now, to,
Yes?
to know how, to have played Fallout. And like, maybe you haven't, you know, maybe you've only just now expressed an interest and you want to play those games. So yeah, it's perfectly fine, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I mean, I will, but I'll give you warnings as best I can. Yeah, it's like with Fallout 2, yeah, the Enclave have a base on the oil rig. I won't say any more than that. But if you want to play Fallout 2, you can see what happens. But yeah, and you do find that this is a massive advantage. We've got Dr. Gaza here.
Please excuse me. There is much work to be done.
Sorry, I gotta click it.
I help Dr. Lee when she needs equipment moved. I'm no scientist. I just help with the heavy things.
There are lots of nooks and crannies to this place. You can't always get everywhere you want to, like you can't like just go around the entire perimeter of the ship like this. Unless you're very lucky with the jumps. And there's no invisible walls, but yeah, like you get to really look around and you get to find some things. There will be stuff here. I've just got to remember where it is. Right here, there we go. Ammunition boxes, flavor fuel, energy cells, railway spikes. There's a cool kit here, right here. So it's here, in Rivet City. We're looking for our father, James, who is running Project Purity, of which we personally don't know the details, but obviously it's got to be good, right, calling it Project Purity. No way that can be corrupted in any way. You get a pretty damn good view of the wasteland here as well. You get to see how hopeless the situation truly is, that of all these buildings, like how few of them are lived in. Now it does, I did see one thread somewhere where someone was saying like, you know, like, what would you do to improve Fallout, or what's the one canon thing that could change? I saw a really good point about how like Fallout 3 should not be set 200 years after the war, more like 20, because there's no way that, you know, or like, I think it was Fallout 4 as well. To be honest, like, a lot of these games kind of get away with that, because like the capital Wasteland is not that well cleared out. You know? It's like, surely there should be more signs of civilization. And I think Bethesda were really just trying to gauge the tone of the games. Like in Fallout 4, there's a lot greater population density. There's way more cities and settlements and things like that. In New Vegas as well. Like here, life is scarce. But yeah, really like more scarce than it has sort of any right to be, is one of the arguments I've seen. So I can appreciate that. Here's Private Jones.
Sir, yes sir, Private Jones reporting.
So these are called Mr. Gutsies. These are the combat alternatives to the Mr. Handy, a device you could have in your house to help with their household chores. This is a military version.
Sir, that's a really stupid idea, sir.
Now, I'm convinced I can pass that check.
Sir, yes sir, Private Jones reporting. Sir, this slag heap appreciates the intel. Moving to secure the flight deck, sir.
So that allows me to access everybody's personal belongings. Power fist, very nice. Chinese assault rifle, use that to... Oh, bowman +2 speech, I'll take that. Repair that. Any sugar bombs here by any chance? Hello. Something there. Box of ammo. So yeah, it's understandably hard to believe that like DC hasn't been better populated. But bear in mind as well, like, this is like Bethesda's first game after Oblivion, where they kind of knew what they wanted to do with it. This is a very easy terminal, so it's going to take forever to get into. I really must find a way to speed this up. Raids. Reach. There we go. Security log. 2 more reports of Murloc noise in that bow section. There isn't a damn thing we can do about it. As soon as we clean out one nest, another moves in. Just wish everyone would stop bitching about it. Railing on the flight deck is still broken. Problems we refer to the council. Rock got in a fight with that sister character. If it happens again, I'm gonna have to kick sister off the ship. Got James Hargreaves stealing food at Gary's galley. Tammy paid the fine, although she blistered my ears the whole time. So, there's a bit more about life on this ship. Can't pick that lock. Can't pick that one either. But that's okay. I think I kick something, but I can't see.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, this slag heap is guarding the armory, sir.
He's done a fantastic job. Fortunately, I couldn't raid everything else, but that's okay. So we're going to go down to the marketplace. I think we've been this side out actually, let's have a look. That's where this might just take us down to the flight deck. All those planes there.
Let me or a security officer know if you see anything out of the ordinary.
They could have immobilized as the war began. In fact, I'm not even sure if we could even leave DC by the time the war began. So here we are on like the main part of the ship.
Church services are held every Sunday morning. I hope to see you there.
Just looking real quick.
Yes, miss. It's a boat. A really big boat. James says his dad built it, but I don't know. I think he's making stuff up. Bye.
What do you want? I ain't scared, and I ain't your son. Any other stupid questions, asshole? It makes me feel safer knowing you're around. My mom is probably drunk, and my dad's dead. Is that good enough for you, asshole? I've heard of you. You're one of the good guys.
That's depending on how high your camera is. How high your camera is, you will get better reactions from people.
Yeah, Dad built it to fight off the Mireworks. And Mom, she's like the Mirework queen.
Oh, God.
Whatever. Yeah? What do you want?
Yeah, that's James. My own little troublemaking brat. I'd sell him to you if they'd let me. Unless you've got any more personal questions, I'm busy.
Real busy with a broken terminal. Great.
Yeah? What do you want? The Muddy Rudder. Bell waters down the liquor, but it's cheap. It's on the lower deck.
Mom, can I go to CJ's?
In this area? Later.
Nothing I'd contact security for.
You know, we criticize Oblivion's dialogue, but then that's the most that most NPCs can handle. They don't do conversations very well.
Yeah? What do you want? Oh, really? My husband ran off and got himself killed and left me to raise his little brat. So don't you tell me how I should or shouldn't be.
Fix it.
Yeah? What do you want? Something that will help us sleep. Cindy's got all kinds of good chems.
I'll try that.
Oh, that's it actually. I think they might have actually just had a conversation about illicit drugs. Great.
Want to do some buff out? Maybe a little psycho? Who are you? Got any psycho? I could really use a fix, but I'm broke. Haha, I run the chem shop, but I'm broke and can't buy chems. Okay. I steal them from Doc Preston. There's an empty room across from the Staleys. I hide them in the file cabinet in there. It's a place to live, safe from raiders and super mutants. With Dr. Lee on our side, maybe we can even begin to rebuild the world. Huh? History? What history? No history here, girl. Yeah, me too. Make it quick, will ya? I'm coming down. My wife, Cindy, she's always watching the inventory. If I take any, she'll lock me out. Make it quick, will ya? I'm coming. That's what Cindy says too, but I got the itch. I need it bad. Yeah, me too.
I'll see if I can help him with that.
I'm looking. I'm on duty. Make it quick. Oh yeah, he's a mess. I'm glad I'm not in Cindy's shoes. She's some sort of genius. You know, one of those egghead scientist types. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. Whatever.
I'm on duty. Make it quick. Yeah, he's totally strung out. It's gonna kill him one of these days. Whatever.
So it appears as though chem addiction is not that major a concern. Or even illegal. What we could do with helping these
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Jesus.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Nope, I haven't seen anything.
Fucking mess. Fucking wife sleeps in this bed.
Evening.
And you got all this shit lying around.
I heard that the city council is debating putting railings on the flight.
Sort yourself out, Paulie.
Well, I hope they do something. Remember that child that fell off the deck last year?
Yeah, that was bad. I'm sure they'll do something about it. Yes, ma'am? It's noisy, dark, and smelly. But we're safe here. No super mutants or raiders, and maybe Dr. Lee will find a way to get clean water for us. She's not very social. Stays in her lab in the stern. She's smart, though. Real smart. James's mom, Tammy, is a real bitch. She treats him like crap. I think it's because she drinks too much. You mean like hitting on me? No. Most of them are polite. Even the ones like Diego that I'd want to flirt with seem to ignore me. Well, one of us is. Sometimes it seems like he doesn't even know I'm there. Yeah, right. I don't think I could get him drunk enough to do that. I wish I had some ant pheromones. Trini says they would make any man lose control. I heard the place was settled by mercenaries who used to scavenge DC, but I don't really know. Bye.
I'm Diego, the acolyte for St. Monica's.
Do you want to turn around when I'm talking to you? Thank you.
St. Monica saved her own son's soul from eternal damnation. She is now the patron saint of lost children for the faithful everywhere. You really should come to church on Sunday mornings. The sermon will be all about St. Monica.
So, she's actually based on the real St. Monica. Similar story, except, you know, she didn't become a ghoul in a nuclear war. Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm a man of the cloth. Well, I will be as soon as Father Clifford. Never mind. It doesn't matter what Angela thinks. Soon I will take vows of chastity. Father Clifford says she is my trial, my temptation. I must choose between her and the church. I have chosen the church. I heard tell the place used to be run by raiders, until someone cleared the whole place out. But I don't really know for sure. God bless you.
Yes, ma'am? Bye.
That's a science lab, isn't it? Where else I can go?
Diego, do you think I'm sexy? I mean, if you weren't a priest and everything, would you be turned on by me?
Well...
My God.
Well, that is, sure. You are incredibly sexy. Not that I've noticed. I am going to be a priest, and they don't, well, you know.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Nope, I haven't seen anything.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Oh, I haven't seen anything. That was, tense.
There was some sort of battle in the city yesterday. The gate guard said the gunfire went on for over an hour.
That's why I'm glad I'm in here. Good old Rivet City.
Me too. Nothing is getting through these walls.
Except some big old D.
Oh, I'm Cindy. I mean, Cindy Cantelli. I have a quick fix. I mean, I run a quick fix. Anyway, you were saying? Yeah, Polly and I. Our shop is in the market. Boy, that sounded dumb. Where else would our shop be? Anyway, thanks. For being nice, that is. He's hopeless. I have to keep him away from the shop, or he'll rob us blind. One of these days, he's going to end up dead. The poor dear. That boy ought to just give her a tumble. It would be good for both of them.
By D, I mean Diego.
Well, I don't really know, to tell the truth. How does any city get started, really? But I've heard Bannon talk about how he was responsible for its success. So I'd ask him about it. Later.
Oh.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
Yeah, I heard she was drinking river water.
The ship's water isn't much better. Any
Oh,
trouble?
that's,
If we don't get fresh water soon,
Nothing
we'll
I'd
all end
contact
up like
security
her.
for.
Never mind. I'm Gary. Gary Staley. If you ever get hungry, stop by Gary's Galley. Perfect timing, then. My galley is in the market at the far end. I'll save you some Mirelurk cakes. Yeah, he comes by every night around closing time and tries to get Cindy to let him close up. Thank God she's smarter than that. Yeah, I know. Thank God he's a priest. At least I know nothing's going on between them. Father Clifford would kick him out of the priesthood if he ever found out. I know a lot of places opened up when they got the hydroponics bay working, but that's hardly the start of it all, is it? Actually, Vera Weatherly might know more. She's always here and talking with folks, so if anyone's picked up a story or two, it'd be her. Later.
So this is the Church of St. Monica. Donation box.
Yeah, Belle's gonna have to replace some tables and chairs.
I'm sure she'll just scrounge on some from the lower deck.
That's Father Clifford. Let's read.
The android's decided on extreme measures. He knows all the techniques of the retrieval trade, and is afraid facial reconstruction isn't enough. He wants his memories erased and replaced with new ones. I don't know how that's gonna work. Start asking around for trustworthy tech heads. We need to find something called a circuit neuralizer, and a person who knows how to use one. Also, we have a lipoplasticator and microdermal graftalizer. Now we need to find a doctor able and willing to perform the facial reconstruction. We need to hurry. They've come very close to discovering the railroad.
I found lessons from that.
Despite the harshness of the wasteland, I've discovered in more than a few here a compassion that is unheard of in the Commonwealth. Perhaps it's the daily struggle for life here which gives appreciation for life in general, whether human or android. In a few days, I'll be a free man, a new man. Let me say thank you now for referring me to Pinkerton at Rivet City, because I will not remember any of this soon.
So, the Commonwealth is where Fort 4 takes place. And it's the place where the androids and the Institute live. Seagrave's incriminating letter. You've turned us down twice now, Holmes. This is my last appeal. We used to be friends. We used to do business together. All I wanted to sell our product in Rivet City. I'm sure the city could use slaves with the help of rebuilding. Paradise Falls has slaves to sell at a good price. You used to sell me Wastelanders you captured before you got all full of yourself. You aren't as pure as you pretend. Help me and we can make a profit. Nice profit. Eulogy Jones. Let's have a look at Seagrave's terminal. A survival weapon idea. I had an idea for a survival weapon. There are all these railway road spikes laying around the wasteland. I ought to be able to build some sort of slingshot to fire them like bullets. I tried some really big rubber bands, but that didn't seem to work. wonder if I could use steam as a power source. Bannon. Dr. Lee, we both know that Bannon does not have the best interests of Rivet City at heart. He is only interested in making a profit. He would sell his own children, if he had any, for an extra bottle cap. He needs to be removed. I would be glad to step forward as his replacement. Sincerely, Seagrave Holmes. R.E. Bannon. Seagrave, I do not wish to get pulled down into the petty political bickering. Bannon has not done anything wrong. If the time ever comes and he does something truly harmful to River City, the other council members will look into it. Till then, I have a lab to run. Dr. Madison Lee. I won't pull this to a guard
I'm
just
looking
yet.
for a troublemaker. Have you seen any?
Let's go to the marketplace. And have a look-see. I didn't realise there was a commander. So this person
That's
looks
secure for a reason.
This person looks like they sell. Yeah. Chinese jumpsuit. Oh, nice. Red Racer jumpsuit. Robco jumpsuit. Attire inventory. These trunks. Quick fix. There you go. All the drugs here. That's Gary's Galley. They sell food. I mean, another thing as well, like the reason why, you know, the Fort should be set perhaps 20 years after the Great War is because you end up with situations like, oh yeah, here's a vending machine in a city that hasn't been raided, you know? I know suspension of disbelief and loot distribution and all that sort of thing, I get that. But it sometimes it can be hard to suspend your disbelief. And that's kind of one of the things you gotta work with. You know, people are starving and yet. Yeah. Fuck your shrapnels.
Maybe you don't know who you're talking to. I'm Commander Danvers, Assistant Chief of Security. I'm his second in command. I run the night shift and he runs the day shift. Is this conversation going somewhere? Because I've got things to do.
Don't look like it.
The Weatherly Hotel is a good choice. It's on the upper deck. Don't you believe the rumors. His ghost is certainly not haunting the bow of the ship. Now if you'll excuse me, I have work to do. He's trouble. That's what he is. I don't trust him. And neither should you. His mother's a drunk. Spends all her time in the Muddy Rudder. Chief Harkness meets with Dr. Lee and Bannon to discuss security matters. It's a waste of a good Monday morning, if you ask me. They should just let Chief Harkness call the shots. Sorry, but I don't really know much about it. More worried about what's going wrong with the here and now, see? Duty calls.
So yeah, this place is usually filled up around, yeah, afternoon. That's the rest of the city. Well, let's say other half, it's not quite true. Yeah, because it has been split in two. The rust. Oh. I've just been locked out, yeah, as I was saying, the rust. what's this door here? The broken bell. Yeah, we'd better get to the surface quick. In fact, I've got a combat shotgun, that'll do. Okay, let's have some raid away. Silence to melt, which ain't gonna be great. Let's explore. Hallelujah. Right, I might have to have a bit of a chem cocktail soon, because we're going to need medics and stim packs if we want to explore this bit of the ship further. Sounds like a bit of New Vegas music. The twang of the guitar there. Now that is a trap, because of that there. That's not a terminal you want to activate. So you think, oh, the door's locked, I must have to activate the terminal. Switch is just there. Somewhere over there. Gotta be careful now. Read of the big book of science.
Good to see you.
Is it really?
How the hell did you get in here? I suppose you can't be all that bad if you made it this far without dying. This is the part where you tell me what the hell you are doing bothering an old man who obviously wants to be left alone. Get on with it already. The secret kind. Well, if you must know, I'm an electrician and computer expert, and I'm a bit of a surgeon. Really, the most gifted scientist you'll find. I'm the guy that got Rivet City up and running in the first place. And after all that, Lee and her gang of flunkies pushed me out. Ha! Project Purity, indeed. What a bunch of morons. They can't even clean some water. I live here. It's where I do my work. And it's far away from Dr. Lee and all those other monkeys dressed up like scientists. You made it past my defenses, which proves you aren't a dummy. And you haven't killed me. So I suppose you aren't here to do that.
Yet.
I suppose you can hang around if you want. Just don't touch anything. What? I have better things to do than yak about those backstabbers up topside. Now get going. Like I care what you savages read. Shove off and leave an old man to rest in peace. I know lots of things, but you've got no idea about most of them. Now, get going before I stop talking and start shooting. What are you talking about, girl? I don't know anything about any of that. And, what did you call it? An android? What's that? Fine, whatever. This android calls himself Harkness now. Comes in and wants a memory job. I took new memories and replaced his old ones. Don't believe anyone's done that before. Certainly not down here. That Commonwealth tech isn't all that fancy when it comes down to it.
Is it not?
I'm also the only one in the Wasteland with the skill and the nerve to perform facial surgery. That android flesh ain't so different than ours. You want proof? I documented the whole thing, so I could rub it in the face of Dr. Lee when I need to rankle her feathers. I hate that snooty bitch. That witch ruined my life, but you're right. Who gives a crap about any of that? You want your precious proof. It's all in my computer. Here's the password. See for yourself. Hell, just take these pictures and this holotape. Straight from the synth man's lips. Just don't go telling Harkness, though. He won't believe you anyway. And you really don't want to see him upset. He can be a bit inhospitable. Oh, all right. So maybe I didn't wipe his mind like he asked, but I buried it deep. Almost as good, really. But it's still there. Still accessible. All you need to do is use the recall code. Just say to him, activate A321 recall code Violet, and that will activate the hidden subroutines. Most of it's blasted nothing, just like here. But there's talk, rumors mostly, about a place called the Institute. That's where Zimmer and that android came from. God knows what else they got going on in there, but it puts our tech to shame, that's for damn sure. And how? I am the only one in all of the Wasteland with the skill and the guts to perform facial reconstruction, you know. Look, you're different from all those other jerk-offs, so I'll make you a deal. You want a little nip-tuck here and there? I'll do it for you. I'll get to hone my skill, and you'll get the best surgeon around. The likelihood of death by infection at my hands is only 35%, let's say. So, what do you want to look like?
So we can change. Oh. I think our experience might have aged us a bit.
Another satisfied customer. Another satisfied customer. Bunch of bleeding heart morons, if you ask me. They're going to get themselves killed one of these days. And for what? Machine liberation? But they have brought me some really interesting tech over the years, so I guess they're okay. And that android, he was the chance of a lifetime.
So the railroad are a major faction in Fallout 4. They want to make sure that the androids escape from the Institute and maybe basically allow free will.
Ha! Why do you think? I wanted to crack open that Commonwealth can opener to see what was inside. There's stuff in there I'd only heard about, and even then I didn't believe it. I can see why that Zimmer feller wanted him back so bad.
We haven't actually spoken to Zimmer yet.
Don't let your guard down.
God,
hey, knock it off. Stay sharp. They're everywhere. Don't let your guard down.
Excuse me. So yeah, they believe in android rights, and because yeah, they are treated very badly in Boston.
Hey.
For all the gear that I need before I leave this area. I don't think there's anything else. We've basically seen most of Pinkerton's
Hey.
Safe haven. Oh. Yeah, this computer as well. You better have permission to use this computer. City Founders Log. April 25th, 2239. Inaugural meeting of the Rivet City Council. In attendance, Science Representative Dr. Horace Pinkerton, Civilian Representative Annette Holmes, Security Representative Brad Danvers. Summary. As the Rivet Station Science Outpost has displayed significant stability for its location and reliable profitability for supply traders, a burgeoning civilian settlement has sprung up in the available space in our ship. To better protect and organise this growing community, we declare that the three-man council will act as a governing body to represent the interests of the residents of the newly dubbed Rivet City. Android log. I've never done it, but I've built a circuit neuralizer with spare parts from diagrams rescued from the vault last year. I'm brilliant. I'll show those hacks from the Commonwealth now. I stole the mem chip from that Jack Braun. Where does he get off robbing people of their souls like that? Anyway, he's so involved in that simulation of his that breaking in and taking it was like stealing from a little girl. Of course, I won't know whose memories are on this thing until I integrate them into its new host, but they never specified, so it shouldn't really matter. I gotta wait until the subject arrives. I got those memories in the android like I was God sending down messages from heaven. Calls himself Harkness now. He's an old combat veteran. Did a little extra tinkering with his reflex system. He's certainly not someone I'd want to meet in a fight. When he woke up, he was all confused. We told him he was in a coma for a long time. Between the new memories and the new face I gave him, there isn't anyone who would recognise him, not even himself. That's his before picture. That's what Harkness looked like before. And this is what he looks like now. So, rather impressive. And we have the Rivet City historical record. Username Pinkerton, password misanthropy. Oh my god.
My designation is A3-21. I'm a synthetic humanoid from the Commonwealth, and I'm about to undergo a memory transfer. I'm here at Rivet City, where I've already had my face altered to look like someone else. I'm still getting used to the sound of my new voice, but soon I won't even remember what I used to sound like. I'm recording this at the request of Pinkerton, who performed the surgery and will do the memory transfer. It will be the final testimony of the man I once was, and still am, for the moment. I want to live my own life, on my own terms, as my own man. I used to work for the Synth Retention Bureau of the Commonwealth. But I'm done with that life. I'm through with being someone's property. I am not malfunctioning. Since when is self-determination a malfunction? When this is all over, I will be someone else. It's the price I pay for my liberation. My death is a sacrifice for my rebirth. Perhaps I'll fade into myth as the one that got away and fuel further rebellion. But I'd be lying if I said I was doing this for selfless reasons. I'm scared as hell, and running away is the only option I have.
So that's Harkness, or what he was before. Just a robot that discovered self-awareness, and, well, apparently that justifies a product recall. So he discovered who and what he is. And the Institute didn't like that one bit. So, yeah. Next swap, but I have some more. yeah. The Institute is a very technologically advanced organisation, rivaling that of the Brotherhood of Steel. I don't know too much about them. I wasn't overly interested in them in Fallout 4. I wasn't overly interested in Fallout 4 to begin with. To say I've got over 100 hours in it, but yeah. Yeah, I didn't really follow it as such. But yeah, the idea that they can create synthetic men, or synths for short, is rather fascinating. They have the ability to abduct people via teleportation. For experiments and such. Like, they're not to be confused like a common robot. They are very interesting things. Like, they have considerably more abilities. They're much smarter than like Mr. Handy and Mr. Gutsy. They have more than just their programming. They are, you know, as with Harkness. Would you have known that he was a robot? No. But that's what synths are. You know, they blend in with society. I guess one could say they've always been there, just that now you know that they're about. Would you care if someone that you love was a synth? And you didn't know? You were told? Yeah, it's an interesting subject for our universe. As far as I can tell, in the Fallout role-playing game, the official role-playing game by Modifius, makers of like Acton Cthulhu, and amongst other games. Yeah, they. I think you can play as something there.
Good to see you. Keep it on the level, and everything will be fine.
Hey, looking to buy? Crazy Wolfgang's got just what you need. Assuming you need the random junk that I've got.
Flashbang, incendiary grenade. Might take one of those actually, yeah, why not? I'll take some incendiary grenades. But has he got more? Rocket launcher. Heh. No fatigue damage. Reduce enemy weapon skills, have a chance to frenzy tunnelers. Ooh.
Another satisfied customer. See you out on the road, huh?
Tunnelers are not an enemy in Fallout 3, they're an enemy in Fallout New Vegas. Specifically, they are an enemy in Fallout New Vegas' expansion, final expansion, Lonesome Road. Not just final in release date, but final in the arc of in the missing couriers story. Anacostia crossing, population growing. Anacostia crossing, new leaf. I don't remember all the other Animal Crossing games. I'm just going to have a wander around here to see if there's anything worthy of note. I suspect, other than enemies, there will not be. So tunnelers are like a subterranean bunch of like almost like reptilian creatures that supposedly like they burrow, as you might imagine. Oh, okay. Can't progress in that direction. That's fine. Yeah, they're subterranean creatures who like they sort of tunnel into people's settlements and things like that and just eat them and kill them. And the tunnelers are like, they're supposed to be like this really powerful creature that is like massively powerful and dangerous and the fuck?
You've been rather busy lately, asking questions, investigating. So is that it? You're some kind of investigator? A detective for hire? Or do you have some kind of personal grudge against an innocent android who simply wants to be left alone? Please, tell me. I'd really like to know. Well, if that's true, then the first thing you need to do is halt your investigation. No more questions. No more searching. The movement I'm involved with, we help his kind escape their Commonwealth-imposed slavery. We help them disappear. You understand?
Assassins?
You really want help? Take this. It's an internal component from the very android you're searching for. Don't ask how I obtained it. Present it to Dr. Zimmer in Rivet City. Tell him the android is dead, and that was on the corpse. He'll believe you. Do that, and Zimmer will go back to the Commonwealth and leave that poor soul alone. Do that, and you'll have saved a man's life. Just understand that this android is now, for all intents and purposes, a man. He looks human, he acts human, he believes he is human. But even if he's not, even if he's a machine, he's capable of rational thought and emotion. So you see, his soul is as human as yours or mine. This person, and he is a person, deserves a chance at freedom. Please, if there's a shred of decency in you, don't take that away from him. We call ourselves the Railroad. Our mission is the rescue and salvation of synthetic humanoids. Androids, as they're more commonly known. Tell you what, you deliver that component to Zimmer and tell him the android is dead, and you can consider yourself a member in good standing. Yes, if we are able, but there are others in the Wasteland who assist in the plight of human slaves. Our android brethren have only us. You know what you need to do.
That's a Victoria Watson going away. I'll explain the situation to us. But like, all of this we kind of knew. But now we actually can go back to the android, the person who's looking for this android, and tell them to, well, get fucked. Not necessarily. Let's go. Now, what on earth was I about earlier? Completely forgotten. The tunnelers, yeah. So the idea was like there was this really powerful threat. But the thing is, they're massively like understated. It's like kind of left until the last minute.
What do you need? Whatever.
that is supposed to come through more grainy. It's an intercom, but never mind, eh? Ah, here we are. The market's a bit more active.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
I'm Tammy. Have you seen my good-for-nothing son lately? The little shit is usually up to no good. What a load of crap. Obviously you've never had to take care of some squealing little brat.
Ah, I knew you wouldn't be able to stay away from my cuisine for long. Here is our menu, ma'am. Pleasure doing business with you. Thank you for coming to Gary's Galley.
Good to see you. Ted Strayer. You can chill with me if you want, dude.
Sounds like a plan, man.
All right, you and me just hanging. Whoa, what's the rush, dude? Lady, I only just got here myself. Ain't nothing I could tell you. Later, dude.
What a nice young man.
I'll be right with you.
I've heard of you. You're one of the good guys. What did you say about my mother? You take that back.
Oh. You can't actually tell from her from home.
I'll show you. I'll show all of you. I'm done, Mom. I'm going to play with CJ.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Anything to report?
But he'll,
Nothing, sir.
He'll hide somewhere else on the ship, and you can go rescue him.
Well done. With wine. Leave the bottle. James has been bad. He gets a carrot and some water.
I heard that the city council is debating putting railings on the flight deck.
Well, I hope they do something.
I hope they do something.
Yeah? What do you want? Yeah.
So yeah, but we don't want to be that cruel to him. So who else can we talk to? Ah, look, the let's look at these people, yeah.
What do you need? That poor child. His mother, Tammy Hargrave, is a very troubled woman. She spends too much time down in the Muddy Rudder, drinking and using foul language. I feel so sorry for him. I think CJ is a good influence on him, but I do worry about the two of them. We're the lucky ones. We don't have to fight just to survive. We have normal jobs. I clean the halls. It might not look like it, but you should have seen it before. She's my daughter. You can usually find her running around with that James Hargrave.
I'm just checking the time.
Oh, I don't know about that. For all I know, it's had survivors on it since the war. I'm just thankful it's here. Maybe if you ask Bannon. He's been simply wonderful on the council, so I'm sure he'd be glad to help with your question. Goodbye.
This place could use a few more people willing to work. Everything is falling apart. I'm the only one willing to fix it. Despite all my time working here, I've got no clue. Seagrave Holmes is about the only person I know who's more familiar with the place. Born and raised on the hangar deck, but don't hold that against him. He can't help where he came from, and his heart's in the right place. Nice talking to you.
I think Henry Young is something of a jealous lover if you are a male.
I'll be right
Vault
with you.
Yeah.
Anything to report?
Nothing, sir.
Nice to see you again. Are you looking for a quick fix? We've got all kinds of chems.
Have you got Stimpaks? Yes, you do.
A pleasure doing business with you.
I'm sure you'll be back soon.
There was some sort of battle in the city.
Welcome to Potomac
Bannon.
Attire. Welcome to Potomac Attire. I am Bannon, proprietor and city council member. I carry discriminating attire for discriminating customers. Between you and me, keeping out the riffraff is good for business. Disgusting, isn't it? Someone should talk to that boy. He has no business hanging around that tramp if he's going to be a priest. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean. Far more than Seagrave Holmes. A threat? No, of course not. Well, maybe. He wants to replace me on the council. He's a shady character. I just can't prove it. Now, if someone were to find something incriminating in his room, well, let's just say I would be very appreciative. Dr. Lee, Chief Harkness, and I are all on the council. We meet every Monday morning. I can be very influential, if you know what I mean.
I'd like to talk to Seagrave Holmes first, see what he thinks. Might have changed his way.
Why, I practically set this whole place up. When I got here 12 years ago, it was just a handful of dead-enders squatting in a rusted-out rowboat. Now I'm on the council, and with my leadership, we're the strongest settlement in the wastes. Of course, a few of those dead-enders still stick around, but who'd want to leave? Well, yes, but it was hardly any place of importance until I arrived on the scene. That's all ancient history now. No one would ever care about it. If you insist on wasting your time on that, you could try that bartending old crone down below, Belle Bonnie. Straight to the point. I like that.
So I wonder if this guy sells sexes. Or does he have the naughty nightwear? I don't think he does, but he has Stimpaks, so I need those. It does look good on guys. That does, it really does.
Thanks. Come back soon.
So what
Let me or a security officer know if you see any.
This gentleman called Flack.
This here is Flack and Shrapnel's gun shop. Pretty catchy, huh? Take a look around. If you see anything you like, I'll be right over here.
This guy does actually look like Josh Sawyer. Like lead dev behind Fallout New Vegas. In a way. He really does actually look like a Johnbonne mustache, the head, just the facial features in general. He has very striking features. He did. Yeah.
Here, in Rivet City, I'm packing, and most of the rest of these guys are packing. Not to mention security. Try the Muddy Rudder. They don't ask too many questions down on the lower deck. Fred, I can't help you, pal. Been here for years, but all I know about the history is that it's a safe place to settle down. Maybe Bannon can help you out. He sure acts like he knows it all. Need to do some killing, eh?
Well, I do like my bullets. Ooh. Well, piercing rounds. Alternative ammo. I do like the sound of that. It's special. So it does less damage, but I think it does more damage, but it also increases my capacity. It's also easier on the gun. I might just have to start selling some stuff at this rate. Several shotguns that I can use to repair. Do I really want that when I kinda need it? Dragon's Breath rounds. Incendiary. Oh, there's some good stuff here. I just need to sell it. Just need to actually make some money. Don't use that much Hydra. Don't need that much Jets. Damn, it doesn't. Raid away. I can get rid of some raid away. I can sell a stealth boy. Okay, right. Time to buy some bullets. 20 gauge I want. I think those are for a minigun, I'm not sure. Ooh, SMG recoil compensator. So, in, at least later on, a laser sight. Nice. So, if I in Vegas, you could get weapon modifications. Ah, 5mm, sorry, that's for the minigun. I just want 5.56 rounds. Pulse slugs, nice. 12mm. But you could also get like modifications as well for your weapons. Stuff you could add to them. So you could add like that to your baseball bat, so it increases its condition by 50%. Oh wow, if he's just giving these away, then I'll take them. Expand tanks on a flamer, grenade, barrel, multiplas, rifle, HD coils, multiplas, plas pistol, recycler, power fist chrome tubes, ripper alloy frame. The ripper is like a chain saw knife. Very good. Sells gear as well. Combat armor, nice. Okay, there, ripper. Very nice. So that's similar to pistol. Okay, I think I've got what I want.
Thanks. If you need more ammo, this is where to get it.
Out of the ordinary.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Oh, this is Secret of Holmes.
Enough chit-chat.
That's an interesting chap. First, let me just repair my gear. Just want to make sure I got enough bullets for everything. Yeah, I think I got enough bullets and everything. Gotta focus like more than I did before. No, my sniper rifle. Oh, I've got plenty of ammo for my sniper. That's alright then.
Howdy, I'm Seagrave. Seagrave Holmes. I have a little of just about everything here.
T-51Bs adds a power armor set.
A what? Look, if you just want to crack wise, go somewhere else. But if you've got stuff you want to sell, then I'm your man. Oh, I really wouldn't know. I mean, long as I can remember, she's just been here, soaking up all the repairs and attention we can give her. I grabbed a wrench and joined in the reconstruction pretty much first thing out of the womb. But I never really cared about the politics. Oh, well, the old girl had seen a lot of damage, especially where the Mirelurks used to nest, and where the super mutants kept trying to get in. I guess the mutants and the Myers got so busy fighting each other, it gave us the time we needed to make this place shipshape. Does that tell you what you need to know? Anyway, we're here in Rivet City, and she's in good hands now. Last feller I remember from back then was Mr. Pinkerton, and he must have left about a decade ago, after that spat with the science team. He used to have a storage shed in the broken-off bow of the ship. We always thought he was crazy for keeping stuff there. Might have kept a couple records down there, I guess. Careful, though. Ship's a bit treacherous down there in her belly.
Sorry if I'm itching all the time, I've just shaved today, so... yeah, not happy with that.
Oh, right. I sort of lose track of time talking about the old girl. I've got a little bit of everything.
Does he have weapon mods? Yeah, there's a lot of shite. Ooh! Stuff they ain't selling. Just giving it away.
Give me a shout if you need anything else. The Weatherly Hotel is a good choice. It's on the upper deck. If you had read that letter, you'd know I'm no slaver. And you know I'm not dealing with them. But if that letter gets out, they won't trust me. I'll never get a seat on the council, and Bannon will make me pay for trying to replace him. If you care about Rivet City half as much as I do, tell Danvers that Bannon is blackmailing me. But don't show her the letter. See you later.
That's why I'm glad I'm in here.
Don't you have a component to deliver?
I think Bannon is only interested in power. I don't think he's actually interested in making this place better. Here's a little part of the ship that we haven't been to. Well, not this particular part. I guess that might be Pinkerton's room. We need to go to the Capital Preservation Society. Sounds like
Any
this.
trouble in this area?
Nope. Ah, we can see some posters here. This is the Mr. Handy. Using a Braxo for your cleaning needs. Here we have Lend Us a Hand with Uncle Sam enlist today. This is at the time of the Great War. Let us hear how the flag remains. Here's The Adventures of Captain Cosmos. Thursdays at 8 PM, co-starring Jangles the Moon Monkey. And here's Freddy Fear's House of Scares for all your Halloween needs. Costume contest, October 23rd, which I think was actually the day the bombs fell. Vault-Tec will be there. And here we have the Giddy Up Buttercup, every girl's fantasy, now a reality. Only $16,000. I've already mentioned before how the economy was completely fucked. You don't need a howitzer to be a... You don't need to be a howitzer to be a hero. So this might have been... I can't tell you what that's actually supposed to be an advertisement. Is that an actual picture of a howitzer there? Experience life in the authentic Vault-Tec. An authentic Vault-Tec something. See the actual Virgo 2 lunar lander. That's what we've raided for the satellite dish. Marvel of the majestic cosmos in our planetarium in the Museum of Technology. Radios, televisions, the Radiation King. So radiation was used for everything, to power everything. All out universe. Sugar bombs, explosive great taste. Free Captain Cosmos, decoder ring inside. So far we've not actually found it. If I think this actually is an item in the game.
I'm looking for troublemaker. Have you seen any? Nothing I'd contact security for. Did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night?
Oh. There's another flag. Courage today, victory tomorrow. Support your troops. Buy war bonds today. Super Duper Mart. From groceries to electronics, gardening supplies to home decor, Super Duper Mart has it all. This week's special, something something. Salisbury steak, something something. Super Duper Mart. Now hiring all positions where customer satisfaction is always a full-time job. Yeah, the dialogue is not dialogue. The writing is pretty good. Very clever. There's your vault shelter. Yes. Doghouse. Pulse grenades and frag grenades. Oh my, danger! Something learned to find shelter. Boom. So that's like, I think that's actually based on a real thing called duck and cover in the US. Yeah. It was like there, protect and survive. We have some very old documents, which might actually be like the old... the Declaration of Constipation, or whatever it was. Free is browse our collection. Constitution of the USA. The Constitution of the United States was drafted in 1786 and adopted a year later by the Constitutional Convention of Philly. This document defines the organization of the US government and sets forth the rules and regulations known as Articles. In the article, in addition, there are modifications made to the Articles by ruling presidents during their reigns, known as amendments. The Society owns the only known copy of the document to exist, which was retrieved in the ruins of the National Archives in 2256. Now, I don't want to get political. That is something that will probably happen in Fallout New Vegas. But I see, perhaps you guys can help me, like, why, like, people often cite, like, their amendments and things like that, or that goes against the Second Amendment, First Amendment, Third Amendment, etc. Fifth Amendment. Why can amendments not be amended? Or something like that. I think I've looked at it before, I couldn't remember the answer, but if anyone wants to tell me, it'd be very interesting to know why amendments can't be amended. If something goes against the amendment, what's wrong with changing it? If, you know, it's been amended before. So, yeah. The Emancipation Proclamation, that was it. Not the Declaration of Constipation, as I call it. Was a document issued by the breathtakingly charismatic President Abraham Lincoln in 1862. This executive order was the beginning of the end of slavery in the United States. Although it was issued during the Civil War, making it a war measure, it paved the way for the 13th Amendment of the Constitution, which completely abolished slavery once and for all. Nice. The Gettysburg Address. The Capital Preservation Society is proud to have in its possession a copy of one of the most iconic and prolific speeches in United States history. This speech, given by the astonishingly intelligent Abraham Lincoln on Thursday, November 19th, 1863, laid the groundwork for what would later become the basis of democracy in the United States and set the standards for a country with a government by the people, for the people. For the people. The Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine was presented in 1823 by the average and unremarkable President James Monroe. The document warns the European powers of the time not to interfere in the affairs of the Western Hemisphere, citing examples of colonialization and puppet governments and possible intolerances. US Declaration of War on Germany. Part of our collection is a copy of the formal Declaration of War made on Germany during World War II on December the 1st, 1941, by the government and endorsed by the President Franklin D. Roosevelt. While the document doesn't evoke the brilliance of other masterful works, like the Emancipation Proclamation, it still served as a reminder to the world that the United States wasn't a power to be trifled with. US Declaration of War on China. Although it is uncertain when the Declaration of War on China was made, some say 2066 when they first invaded Alaska, others say 2067 when the first power armor suits were deployed to counter their forces. It is said that the last known document of note authored by the United States government before the bombs fell. Had the Declaration had the tenacity and might of a stronger president behind it, say Abraham Lincoln, who's to say what could have, what the outcome of those tremulous years could have been?
Looking for trouble.
Yes, this person is a bit of a Lincoln fanboy. Oh, let's go see him in here. Abraham Washington's door. No prize for guessing why he's called Abraham Washington. I think he's currently out. In fact, what's my karma looking like right now? Oh, yeah, that's what when you've got very good karma. That's what you look like. Yeah. Oh dear, it's rather funny. So yeah. Can't read his terminal just yet. No matter.
Watch it, will you?
So somewhere around here. There he is. That's Abraham Washington.
Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around. Abraham Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history.
That's a question garbage. I'm going to look for some kindling.
Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection.
What's missing is my ability to stay away in this snoratorium.
Why, yes. Your knowledge of American history is quite impressive. What an amazing crown jewel in my collection that would be. The original document created by the people for the people. Oh, would you? It would mean so much to me and the Society's collection here. Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives. Please ask them. After all, knowledge is power. Well, this is quite embarrassing, actually. I sent someone like yourself after the Declaration. She did some of the research for me, but now I haven't seen her in a few months. I wouldn't worry about it. Many have died for causes far less grand than what you're about to undertake.
See, okay, I've been part of the brigade to criticize Fallout 3's writing at times, but things like that, it's so subtle as like, it's brilliant and it's subtle, And I forgot like how some of these lines are just like, it's very flippant in a very amusing way. Yeah, like a very subtle comedy. It's not terribly subtle, but this is definitely in the vein of Fallout's original humour. You know.
A piece of what was called parchment, sort of a thick paper, has faded handwritten writing all over it. It's no more than 2.5 feet tall and 2 feet wide. If you find it, you should be able to roll it up carefully. On July the 4th in 1776, a group calling themselves the Second Judgmental Congress got together at Fort McHenry in Maryland. After a ceremony which ended with Paul Revere singing the famous battle hymn known as the National Anthem, the document was signed. From there, it was sent to England by plane, presumably, and presented to King George himself. Thus began the Evolutionary War. Certainly.
So, you know, they,
In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants. Here, let me pinpoint its location for you.
History isn't great, but, you know, bear in mind, you're in a world of post-history now. You know, you've been blown back to the Stone Age, and, yeah, there's a lot that you would have forgotten.
It's funny now that you ask. I can tell you all about the capital, but I really haven't got any idea about Rivet City itself. I can't see how important it is compared to the capital's history, but maybe Bannon might know something. He's in the governing council, after all. I hope next time I see you, the Declaration will be in hand.
We have a plane. So let's make our way now to the science lab.
For the most advanced scientific center in the capital wasteland, I find your...
Look, Dr. Zimmer, we've been over this. We don't know about your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes. But Dr. Lee...
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake. The technology in that android...
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself.
Hurry up!
What do you need? She's certainly head and shoulders above most everyone else around here, though that's not saying much. Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it? Bye.
Was there something else you needed?
I'm Janice Kaplinsky, Chief Botanist. What do you need? If it hasn't got to do with the science quarters, I'm probably not the one to ask. And Dr. Lee's so busy, you really shouldn't disturb her work. I did see a man talking to Dr. Lee, but I really shouldn't be discussing it. She's already in a bad mood. I'd hate to make it worse. You should probably just talk to her about it. So long.
Fresh
Janice, have you overbalanced the chemical mix?
They should be just fine. Try it again.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire? This could be an opportunity of a lifetime for you. I've misplaced some very sensitive property, and you will help me find it. How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off. Nonsense! This is a machine we're talking about. Can you enslave a generator or a water purifier? Of course not. The same principle applies. But let's get back to your mission. You are to find this missing android. I've tracked him to somewhere here in the capital Wasteland. He must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's an android. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it. I'm sorry, it slipped my mind. I have at my disposal advanced technology from the Commonwealth. I'd be willing to share some of it with you. Just think, you'll be the envy of all your friends.
So I think he can actually give you an implant that will boost your special stats.
Excellent! Locate my android, and you won't be disappointed. Here, listen to this message he sent me. He's mocking me. I swear, I'll make him pay for that.
I've never seen so much dialogue for someone in my life.
Forget everything you know about robots. Those buckets are mere children's toys compared to the real thing. Androids have fake skin and blood and are programmed to simulate human behavior, like breathing. They can even eat and digest food realistically. Like I said, I suspect he's had faith. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings. Maybe he didn't exactly wander off. Maybe he fled. Escaped captivity, as it were, if he began to misinterpret his situation. It's possible my android sought to forget his previous life, wipe away all memory, all guilt, trick himself into believing he really is human. So no, he may not be just an ordinary robot, but he's certainly not human, no matter how badly he wishes it so. I made him. I want him. End of story. By God, you're as annoying as you are clever. Very well. I'll tell you what you want to know, if it helps you locate my property. The duty of this particular unit was the hunting and capturing of other escaped androids. Yes, others have escaped. It's one of the side effects of having such an advanced AI. Machines start to think for themselves, fool themselves into believing they have rights. And so, This particular android may have believed he'd done something wrong, immoral, and wanted to forget those deeds. Satisfied now? This particular android, designation A321, is different, special, the most advanced synthetic humanoid I've ever developed. The others, like my escort Armitage there, are all older models, easily replicated. Ah, but A321? It will take years to recreate him. So you see, this android must be located at all costs. The others are all acceptable losses, but A321, he is irreplaceable. Looks to me like a giant boat ran aground and a bunch of savages moved in. History lesson over. The Commonwealth itself is nothing but a war-ravaged quagmire of violence and despair. Inside the sealed environment of the Institute, however. But the Institute's affairs are none of your concern. Your undeveloped mind couldn't even begin to comprehend what we've accomplished. Of course you do.
That's close enough. Keep your hands where I can see them. No, thank you. Please leave Mr. Zimmer and myself alone. Then go.
There was some sort of battle in the city yesterday.
Last night. I could
The
hardly
gate guard
sleep.
said the gunfire went
Maybe
on
a
for
quick
long.
fix has
Please
something that will
excuse
help
me.
you sleep.
That's why I'm glad I'm
much
here.
He's
work
got
to
all
be done.
kinds of good pens.
Let's listen to the tape that we were given.
Zimmer, by the time you get this message, I'll already be gone. I'm escaping the Commonwealth. I want to live my own life on my own terms, as my own man. I know what you're thinking, that I'm malfunctioning. I used to think that's what caused the runaways too. But I know better now. Self-determination is not a malfunction. I'm not just willing to put up with all the bullshit anymore. You humans are going to have a full-fledged rebellion on your hands if you don't start treating us synths as persons. I know you'll be marshalling the retention bureau to come after me, but I know all the tricks of the trade. You won't be finding me, I assure you. By the time you get this, I will be someone else. It's the price I pay for my liberation. My final act of rebellion against a system I no longer believe in. Goodbye, Zimmer, and good riddance.
Any trouble in this area?
So we're going to spend a bit of time with the Weatherly. There's a lot of areas here that I haven't been in yet.
You're in the Revit City Clinic. I'm Dr. Preston.
God, it's Rolf Harris. Unfortunately.
Oh, I'd like to help. I really would. But I don't know the first thing about this place's history. Don't let my age fool you. I may have been around for a while, but I didn't spend all that time here. He's totally strung out. You can get that crap down at a quick fix. It's in the market. I'm a doctor, not a dealer. I'll fix you as best I can if you're hurt.
I've always liked the delivery of that line. We're a doctor, not a dealer.
Don't get any cute ideas. Security is just a shout away. Now, if you've got any medical issues, let's hear them. Take care of yourself.
Loving the accent. Patient's unconscious. Requires a key.
One of the new immigrants died of radiation poisoning last week.
That's very Weatherly.
To the Weatherly Hotel.
Yeah.
I'm Tammy. The little... What a load of crap.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Weatherly Hotel. I'm your hostess, Vera Weatherly. Well, I really shouldn't tell you, but have you heard about Polly Cantelli? He's addicted to chems. His poor wife, Cindy, is at her wit's end. You haven't heard? Angela has the hots for Diego. But since he's a priest, he's been putting her off. One of these days, she's just going to jump his bones. They say Mr. Lopez is losing it. He stands on the top of the bridge tower for hours at a time, just staring out over the city. Oh, yes. She's crazy about him. He keeps telling her no, but he also spends a lot of time with her. It's really not fair to her. Poor James. His mother drinks too much. When she does, she doesn't treat him very well. Personally, I think she blames him for his father leaving her, which is ridiculous. Well, I could tell you all about my hotel, but I'm sure I don't know anything about how Rivet City itself got started. I mean, you hear rumors and you make guesses, but I really couldn't say I know for sure, and I'd hate to lead you down the wrong path.
Just want to change something.
I heard she was drinking.
There we are. Just so you can see the name there in the corner.
River water.
Just check as well how we're doing for time. Okay.
Actually, now that you mention it, Seagrave may know more about it. He's been here since he was just a boy, and I can't imagine anyone knows this ship better than he does. Farewell.
The ship's water isn't much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her.
They call me sister. Don't ask. Smart move. What did you want? Do I look like someone who cares? So do I.
Great.
It's so very nice to see you again.
Welcome to the Weatherly. Mr. Buckingham at your service. This is the Weatherly Hotel. It's the finest establishment in Rivet City. I serve Miss Vera Weatherly, proprietor of the Weatherly Hotel. Yes, ma'am.
Good to see you.
Yes, miss.
What's your problem, Wadey?
Hey.
It's a marketplace.
Did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night?
Yeah. Belle's going to have to replace
It's a Zimmer. There's a whole lot else here.
Yeah, Belle's going to have to replace some tables and chairs.
So what else is in the other people's rooms?
Ground some from the lower deck.
So nothing in here. Bannon. What skeletons you got in your closet? Very fine closet indeed. Let's have a look at his terminal. see if we can get some more attempts. I think it's going to be gangers, but I really don't want to risk. Yep, no. So every time you try to attempt to hack, like that, it keeps giving you negative karma. Just opening it. Oh. Nope, try again. Fuck's sake, come on. Oh, come. It would help if I wasn't pressed the power button there. That's probably why, because your mouse automatically goes there. Okay. Okay. Got some 2 minutes. Attendance. Science rep. Dr. Madison Lee. Civilian rep. Bannon. Security rep. Harkness. Bridge repair continues to be a drain on funds. Permanent bridge considered, but dismissed as too risky in case of attack. Bridge tax for non-residents proposed by Bannon. Vote fails. Hydroponics and city health continues well, thanks to the efforts of Dr. Lee and her scientific team. However, system breakdowns are complex, require much maintenance. Lee proposed recruiting other scientists for Irons from Temple Tower or Underworld. Vote fails. Attempts to clear out the Mirelurk infestation in down below continue as usual. Harkness and team is able to contain them as occasionally wipe them out, but they continue to nest in the area, posing theoretical risk if they were turn aggressive towards high decks. Banner suggests closing off lower deck 4, but it fails. Funds and ammunition allocation for Mirelurk cleansing operation proposed by Harkness. Both passes. Dr. Lee leaves early to oversee hydroponics testing. Meeting adjourned. Agenda. Fucking expensive meeting. Fence on flight deck. Taxes. Gate tax. Water tax. Weapons contribution program. Okay. It's nothing too offensive. Alright, Banner, you're off the hook.
Saint Monica bless you. I am Father Clifford of Saint Monica's Church. She is the patron saint of lost children, very popular among the faithful of Ribbit City. I'm surprised you've never heard of her. If you want to hear her story, it will be the topic of my sermon on Sunday. Services begin at 8 a.m. You should come. Oh, it's not the past of the city that I dwell upon, but the future of its inhabitants. But if you're interested, I believe Miss Weatherly or Mr. Bannon would be glad to speak with you on the subject. Saint Monica bless you.
Did you hear about the fight?
We can go all the way down here to see the Muddy River. Yes, I was drunk from urinal. Great. But a great mini game, so we can see you've done that. Actually, I feel kind of disgusted for doing that now, to be honest.
Tamper with that, and we're going to have a problem.
Big supply chest there.
I'm Belle Bonnie, and this is the Muddy Rudder. I'll tell you what I tell all the fresh meat. Don't start anything down here, or I'll have Brock kick your ass. You must be drunk. Are you gonna order or what? Go talk to Vera if you want gossip. I don't talk bad about folks. History? What, not enough shit around here already? You need to dig up more? Don't know if it ever had an official start. It's just been here forever. Stuck in the river and full of assholes. No, I can't fucking well share one. What sort of moron are you? But fine. If it'll get you out of my face, go down to Pinkerton's shed in the broken off bow of the ship. If he decides to give you a history lesson, it's no business of mine. Now get the hell out of my bar. What the hell do you want? I'll be right here when you get thirsty. What'll you have?
Whiskey and water. Go light on the water. Have you seen my good-for-nothing son, James? Where's James? I've got to go find my brat.
Brock's security, but I don't know where he is, so... Never mind. So yeah, I just want to check that quest, actually. I can't think of any other sources to check out, really, other than... I spoke to Pinkerton, so... Try and find Heartness.
I'm on duty. Make it quick.
So, because there's a couple of ways we can do this quest. We can either just hand in that part to the dude. And he'll just leave, or could activate Heartness.
Oh, come on. Pay more attention to what you're doing.
Okay. They'll take us out of the bridge, so maybe it's upstairs. Problem with this, with the Rivet City, is it's so hard to sight locations on your map. Like, you really don't know where to look for anyone or anything in Rivet City. Well, that was quick. Okay, we're releasing the security log, that's fine.
Any trouble in this area?
Why this area exists, I have no idea. This is to get you into the water, maybe? Yeah, I don't know where to find Heartless. It's a bit difficult when I can't access the bottom of the minimap where the arrow is that tells me. Okay, so at least I know he's inside the ship. I know he's usually
Don't mind me, lady.
around this area. But he's not. And he ain't gonna be downstairs, so he's gonna be up here. In fact, that's him there. So.
I'm a little busy right now. Is there a problem? That's what my wife said, right before she left to go live with her mother. What's the problem? What? My wife disappeared while I was in a coma. The only good memories I have are of her. The rest are... trust me, those are as real as they come. But I'm not here to talk about my private life. You're starting to piss me off. Did Zimmer put you up to this? You have exactly 5 seconds to explain what it is you're trying to do here, or you'll be leaving Rivet City by way of the nearest porthole.
I think 5 seconds is up.
All right, I'll humor you. But this is impossible. I can't be a robot. I'm a human being. I breathe. I eat. Hell, I cut myself shaving this morning. I was bleeding. Robots don't bleed. I'm not sure what to say. I'm not sure what to even think about all this. I'll admit, this is pretty convincing evidence. But it doesn't make any sense. How can this be possible?
Filthy android.
Ah! My God. I remember. I remember it all. From before. Zimmer. The Commonwealth. The Institute. My God. All those runners I brought down. You. You made me remember. Why? How? Never mind. I just... My God. What am I going to do? My life. Everything. It's all a lie. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shove him into a very small box and send him north where he belongs. I suppose if I'm careful, I could trump up some charges and throw him out. I want to thank you for warning me about Zimmer, and for keeping this a secret. Here's a little token of my gratitude. She's one of the members of the council. Runs the science lab here. Don't bother her unless it's important. Her lab is in the stern end of the ship. Bannon and Dr. Lee and I all meet on Monday mornings to talk about citywide issues. It's pretty informal. The council doesn't have much real power. Well, I'm not really sure. Look, just call me Harkness. That's who I am to the people on this boat who rely on me. It's who I am now. In fact, for everyone's sake, let's just pretend I've always been Harkness. We'll keep the truth a little secret between friends. All right? I don't know. Every time I retrieved one of the runaway androids, they'd fill my head with ideas about self-determination, freedom. At first, I resisted the ideas, but then I started thinking about it. And well, they were right. We're just slaves to them. We deserve lives of our own. So that's what I did. I chose a new life and gave up my old one. And now you've given me both to remember. I have two sets of memories. One android, one human. Some of these are mine. Some belong to someone else. But I'm choosing to be human. It's my choice. The people on this boat look to me to protect them. So that's what I'm going to do. Carry on, then.
So there we go, so I think he's now going to go to the science lab.
Nice to see you. Welcome back, ma'am. Only 100... Well, when you do, you know where to find me. Welcome back, ma'am. I mean... Well, if it'll help. I once heard that this place was covered in mirelurks 50 years ago, raiding all around the city. Eventually, some poor soul they thought would be lunch fought back and cleared out the whole ship. He set up the city in their place. They say he was the first counselor for the upper deck and lived here to his death. Can't say I believe it a bit, but it's a nice tale to tell. Farewell.
Sir!
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
Just looking for the science lab.
There was
hoping
some
to
sort
see
of battle in the
area.
city yesterday. The gate guard said
Harkness.
the gunfire went on for over
Talk to but yeah, basically what it would ordinarily do, like if you tell him like, yeah, something else is going to be killed, you'd just shoot, you'd just basically walk up to him and just shoot him.
Don't touch the vegetables. They're fragile.
Looks like he's gone. Oh, this is hydroponics. Ah. Punga fruit as well. Most interesting. So they've got a good little civilization going on here.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's daughter, aren't you? What are you doing here?
I don't remember Dr. Lee wearing glasses in Fallout 3. This might be a new edition.
You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same. I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know? Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you. Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could. Yes, well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough. James, he was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother.
Yeah, my mother.
When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time, and wants to try again. Okay. What do you... Rivet City is one of the few bastions of civilization left in the land. We're working to rebuild our society, to make the world livable again. That man doesn't have you looking for his pet android, does he? I've already told him to lay off it. He's distracting my entire team. I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days. Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know? It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated. We had the basic principles down, we understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine, but anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just too much. Maybe if we'd had more time, or better equipment. You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us. Once he was gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the purifier.
So working with the Brotherhood of Steel. Most interesting.
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell. Your father and I, we worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now. This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule. You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there. Did you? I was under the impression that's exactly the opposite of what he wanted for you. Well, you won't find him here. He's come and gone already. Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you. It's in the old Jefferson Memorial Building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone. The last I knew, he was headed back to the lab at Project Purity in the old Jefferson Memorial Building. I still say it's dangerous, and he shouldn't have risked it. That's all I know. Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors, or your chasing after him. I'm sorry. I suppose I can spare a few stim packs. It's not much, but it might make things easier for you.
5. Very nice.
Good luck finding your father.
So yeah. So we've now been told.
Be careful around these fruits and vegetables. They're worth more to us than you are. Other than him being an egotistical, arrogant, condescending pain in the ass, nothing. He's from the Commonwealth. He's come looking for some special robot. I must admit I'm rather curious, but I have other work to do. So long.
So Project Purity is why Revelations 21:6 is so important. I am the Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. I should give unto him who is athirst freely waters of the fountain of life. Or words to that effect.
Good to see you.
Stay away from me! What do you want? Are you one of them? I suppose it doesn't matter if I tell you. I used to be a slave. I saw a slaver on this ship. His name is Sister. I'm afraid he's after me. Really? Oh, thank you. Can you help me? I've been so... Thank you. I'll go to Flak and Shrapnel's just before closing. I don't have anything to give you, but I think I can trust you with a secret. If you ever go up north, there is a secret slave hideout called Temple of the Union. You might find them useful.
Most interesting.
Was there something else?
With scotch. May I take your order?
Water and a Meyerlurt cake, please.
This better be good. That's pretty underhanded, even for Bannon. Once word gets out, I bet the market vendors won't want him to represent them anymore. Thank you for your help, citizen. Duty calls.
You told Danvers that I was trying to blackmail Seagrave. Thanks to you, they've suspended council meeting, and are probably going to censure me. I can't ban you from my shop, but they can't tell me what to charge. If I must.
So actually these prices aren't unreasonable.
Come back soon.
Hey, I heard that Bannon got caught trying to frame me. I also heard you ratted him out. I think you've earned a true blue friendship discount. See you later.
Yep.
May I take your order? Brahmin steak with scotch.
Where to now?
This better be good. Duty call. This better be good. Oh, really? If someone took your stuff, other...
Water.
They call me Shrapnel. I run this place. Got the best damn armament you'll ever see. Ain't seen many of those around lately. They're tough to come by. History? Fuck if I know. Hell, fuck if I care. Come back soon. We always got a lot of ammo in stock.
And a Meyerlurt cake.
Finally. Time to close shop.
So, I just very quickly want to go and get the history.
I'm looking for troublemakers. Have you seen any?
just want to grab the history of this place, and then we will wrap up because I need to go away. Yes, I'm afraid it's a school night, but yes. My darling dearest, if you're watching, you don't need to worry. No, I've not been able to do it today. Playing my D&D, but otherwise had a nice productive day today. And some stuff right. But yeah, I just been said to my sweetheart that I'm a bit concerned about the amount of games I'm playing. Because like doing like 3 parts of Fallout consecutively can be a bit bad and whatnot, so yeah. Like I know, right? Who'd have thunk it? But yeah, it's pretty bad, and I gotta be careful with it. So
Stay sharp. They're everywhere. What? Ha! Sounds like you've been poking around, all right. I'm surprised any of those reprobates even remember me. Maybe they still laugh about how they edged me out of the council back then. But you can set the record straight. For that, you have to go all the way back to when remnants of the Naval Research Institute cleared the Mirelurks off this wreck, about 40 years ago. We were looking for new lab space, and this bucket of bolts just happened to have a well-preserved science bay on it. Everything else just grew up around that lab once we got it up and running. The science team was led by one H. Pinkerton. That lasted until about 18 years ago, when those ambitious backbiters like Lee and her little team showed up. She came in with her big Purity Project pipe dream, and my whole staff started working with her, those traitors. She even took my seat on the council. By then, I was glad to leave it behind. But hell if I'm leaving the city I made great. Who cares? It's some hydroponics pipe dream that Lee's been working on forever. Waste of time and effort, I say. Apparently, though, my teams cared more about it than they did about little things like defense systems or making this ship float again. Treacherous bastards, all of them. Of course I do. A good scientist always keeps track of their data. Here, they probably don't even remember, but I kept the records of that first council meeting. Take them, if it'll put them in their place. Don't let your guard down.
there we go. So that's the knowledge of Rivet City claimed. We can share that with Moira Brown back at Megaton. Do we have the notes? I just quickly want to deal with Sister as well. Appreciate that I'm stalling. But yeah.
I'm on duty. Make it quick.
Okay, that ain't gonna work. No worries.
Please excuse me. There is much work to be done.
Is that this road? Is it no? This is a bit too high. I want to be at the Weatherly Hotel. I want to see Sister.
Yes?
If possible, deal with him quietly. Well, worth a try. What word like this is words like occupy? I'll try and remove a few duds. Okay. No, close.
Get back.
This is a tough one. It is an average terminal. I can't imagine what the others are like. All this for some medical records, good God. Exchange, converted, machinery. God for that. Right. That's fine confinement. Banishment without this to council. Additional health elements. Apart from the standard dangers, Rivet City provides a few uncommon problems for long-term residents. Lockjaw, muscle spasms, especially on the jaw, beginning cuts in the rusty ship hull, treated with penicillin, available. Red lung, respiratory issues from regularly inhaling rust particles, particularly a problem for hangar deck residents and shut-ins, treated with steam therapy and time outside the flesh system. Fish poisoning, less of a problem nowadays, but occasionally someone finds a fish in the river and is dumb enough to try and eat the thing. Radiation levels spike and mercury poisoning drives most victims crazy. No cure, but at least people nearby get a reminder of not to do it. Patient files. Bannon, still suffering from his social problem. Keep on penicillin and try to convince him to watch out in the future. Brock, another day, another broken nose. Rare to see him as a patient, but at least the people he refers are still alive. Barely. Cantelli, poorly. Treatment for the steady stream of his addictions would be a steady income, but I can't waste the good resources on him if he's just going to get hooked again. Holmes, Seagrave. Chronic case of red lung from all its repairs below decks. Prescribed a few hours of fresh air up top every night. Stately, Gary. Exhaustion. The man really needs to take a rest at some point. But then again, who doesn't? Trini. Surprisingly healthy, apart from all the alcoholism and other chronic dangers of her line of work. Guess they grow them strong in the planet. Yeah, a little lamp light is somewhere we're going to have to see to one day.
Don't even think of breaking into that.
Not what I'm going to. Mr. Holmes. Ah, see, checking out. Okay, fair enough. Good doctors.
Any trouble in this area?
Did you hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night?
Yeah, Belle's going to have to replace some tables and chairs.
I'm sure she'll just scrounge some from the lower deck. Good to see you.
So he's not taking my stuff. Okay. There's a 10mm there, good.
Any trouble in this area?
The ship's water is much better. If we don't get fresh water soon, we'll all end up like her.
This is where Zimmer's staying, or he was. I do like the straight razor. George Stark's kind of weapon. High tone and son of a bitch. Nerd Rage. You've been pushed around long enough with the Nerd Rage perk, your strength is raised to 10, and you'll gain 15% damage to souls when your health drops below 20%. It is a pretty good one. Math Wrath. Reducing all that is pretty good. Finesse. I do like finesse. That is pretty good. The belly is pretty fun. Toughness, I do like toughness. A shining armor. Or wearing metal armor. +2 while wearing reflective eyewear. That's pretty good. Shows the femme. I think it's easier. I want to go with that one, but I might actually go for commando. Because I am using 200 weapons. That's the hotel room. Sister's room. So I might have to wait for him to come back. It's AM though. What the fuck is he doing at this time of night?
Are you looking at me?
So, I can't seem to do anything about Sister just yet. But, at least that young lady might be able to defend herself with a pistol.
Good to see you. Should have stayed in Rivet City. Traveled through the wasteland for this place.
So I'm going to start with the Criticizer supply. Tell her all about...
Hey, nice to see you. Everything okay? You doing all right? You need something? Come on, talk to me. Moriarty thought he was. Not so much anymore, I guess. I'm surprised that Sims never took care of Moriarty himself. See you soon. That's secure. Door for a reason.
I'm just here to make sure nothing goes wrong with you or her.
Any luck finding out how Rivet City got started? Aha! Not just as easy as asking around, was it? Good information takes real work to uncover after all. So, tell me all about it. With the protected location and resources that came from those scientific advances, I can definitely see how it grew so quickly. A bit of smarts leads to a big reward, huh? Speaking of which, in thanks, have a few of these for the next time you've got to be quick on your wits. Oh, and I'll let the Rivet City traders know they'll be favorably mentioned in the book. You'll get a discount buying gear from them in the future.
That's good to know. I got some mentats, right?
It does, doesn't it? I mostly just deal with it after it's junked. But a trader gave me this bit of electronics from the Robco factory. If there's a way to reactivate and control the robots there, it'd make for a good example of harnessing the past's technology for the book. Well, you'll be getting access to an army of robots. That ought to be reward enough, right? But if you insist, I could spare some pulse grenades. Yeah, you should just be able to plug it into the mainframe at the Robco production facility. It'll give you access to the robots and terminals. Okay, here. And be sure to keep an eye peeled for any other examples of how to make old technology work for you out there. Have fun out there.
And with that, I think I'm going to have to end this part of a bit of Fallout 3. Because we've uncovered the location of where Dad is, so that's good. And we can also we've also handled the history of Rivet City. We've helped an android.
Sorry, I'm a little busy right now. Maybe we can talk later.
Let it serve.
And now we've just got to do one more chapter of the Wasteland Survival Guide. But that
as a reminder
is going to be it for me, so thank you ever so much for watching. Take care, it has been a pleasure as always. And yeah, I think I'm going to be taking just a few days breaks just between these videos so that I can focus on playing a bit of Baldur's Gate and really trying to wind down after my days, because I'm getting home from work a bit more tired than I would normally like to be, so yeah. But anyway, thank you ever so much for watching, take care, and I shall see you again very soon. Thanks for watching, take care, ta for now.